So a lot of guys, even when I train right now, they come to my gym and I make them spend time, repetitious time like I did, on technique. They don't like it. They just want to beat bags, beat hand mitts, spar. Well, how can you do all this if you don't know the real technique that it takes to do it? So that's what's happening. We're missing all that because as soon as you come to the gym, first thing you want to do is hit something. In our day, it wasn't like that. You knew what kind of fighter you were. You knew how to jab. You knew how to throw a right hand. You knew how to throw every punch. You knew how to counter every punch. You knew how to defend every punch. You knew boxing from here. You got to rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class.
Today I get some rounds with the GOAT. One of the GOATs. You know what I mean? 2 GOATs. Iron sharpened iron.
Interview Terence Crawford is obviously choosing to train with the best before facing Canelo Alvarez, as evidenced by his recent training session with Roy Jones Jr. before the lesson started. Terence Crawford stated, "My biggest boxing secret is that I always learn, and here's me studying from one of the GOATs." If Roy Jones Jr. gave Crawford any important advice, it was to increase his weight as much as possible in preparation for the upcoming fight.
How do you think Terence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. If you get to the weight limit, because there is a weight limit.
After meeting with Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward lately, Crawford has now invited Roy Jones Jr., who is considered to be among the greatest boxers of all time, to his training camp. In addition to training, Jones will provide insightful knowledge as a former heavyweight champion who, like Crawford, has successfully transitioned between weight classes.
We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue, because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are scheduled to face off in the same 168-pound super middleweight class, where Roy Jones Jr. earned a world title. In addition, he won titles in the heavyweight, light heavyweight, and middleweight weight classes. Crawford, who is making a daring 14-pound leap from super welterweight to super middleweight, would benefit greatly from a mentor who has successfully mastered numerous weight classes like that.
Bud, Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be a tough one. So right now, I think it can go either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that's perfect weight class.
In addition to giving each other guidance, Crawford and Jones engaged in multiple rounds of sparring. In addition, they worked on strength and conditioning, swam laps, jogged together, and used the treadmill. Crawford and everyone else at the gym were amazed by Roy Jones Jr.'s strength, even though he hadn't entered the ring since his exhibition fight against Mike Tyson in 2020.
Because that's why I beat James Jones. James Jones was one of the best fighters of all time. One of the best defensive fighters.
James, that was...
But he ain't moving feet. So because I got the full deep part of me, when he come at me, I'm moving my feet. I'm changing my whole location. When I come at him, he doing this. My hands too fast. I'm gonna find it. Yeah. You only gonna do that 1 or 2 times, I'm gonna find it. Because my hands too quick. So people get the wrong misconception that defense is this. No. Defense is this. So wherever your back foot is, that's your defense. So
Jones was gushing over Bud Crawford following their training session. But as he advances, he keeps voicing sincere worries about Crawford's weight. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are 2 of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the current crop, and Jones, one of the most dominant boxers of his time, is still interested in the next generation of boxing giants.
Racism is promotion.
Right, he don't want no part of Bud, what that means.
Speaking of Bud, what are your thoughts on...
Boxing fans worldwide have been enthralled by the prospect of a bout between the two. Interview, however, Crawford has a significant obstacle as a result of the weight difference. Roy Jones Jr. gave Mill City Boxing his thoughts on this ideal fight before training with him. The renowned fighter leaned slightly toward Canelo as the favorite, even as he praised Crawford's abilities.
That's realistic. It makes sense. And less life-risking on top of the risk that we risk stepping in there with guys our weight, and now you want me to do something. Canelo's not coming down to 60.
No. It's Crawford who wants it. He wants the chance to prove it. He's the best.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
And and again, that's one of what's happening on the show.
Jones stated, "I prefer Terence, but because of his size, I'm going to go towards Canelo early." However, Terence will be an issue if he allows him to join the altercation. Terence will defeat him if he can handle the size. Jones highlighted Canelo's striking force as the crucial element. That's what I'm saying. Since we haven't witnessed Terence being struck with that kind of force, we won't know until we witness it.
A lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do you got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Wow.
That is the decisive element. You have a chance to defeat Bud if you can alter his strategy. However, you can't alter his fighting strategy if you can't harm him, so you'll have issues. The significance of Crawford neutralizing Canelo's renowned power is highlighted by this analysis. Crawford might pull off a historic upset if he can use his technical boxing skills and stay away from Canelo's deadly shots, although supporters still envision this mega fight. Canelo Alvarez is now concentrating on getting ready for his next opponent, who may be William Skull, the interim champion of the International Boxing Federation. For Roy Jones Jr., that wasn't always the case, before recently changing his forecast. The Hall of Fame boxer, promoter, trainer, and esteemed commentator had previously stated that he was confident Terence Crawford and David Benavidez could defeat Alvarez.
A lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do you got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he, Bud?
It's a tough battle to call because Benavidez throws a lot of punches. Jones said in reference to David Benavidez in an interview with BoxingScene.com, he stated that power can occasionally step in and alter the course of events. Will Canelo take that chance? That's the issue. He doesn't seem to have any need to do so, therefore I don't think he will at this time. I don't think he'll win that fight if he can't injure Benavidez in the first 3 or 4 rounds. For the past 2 years, Benavidez, the 2-time 168-pound champion, has been urging Canelo to challenge for the championship.
But not right now. I want to see him. I want to see Crawford come up with some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand me?
That fight will go Crawford and
Crawford won a pound best fighter fight. I mean, it'll be tough. But right now, that's gonna be a tough fight for both fighters. We got to see how Crawford carries the weight.
What about Jamal? Based on what you saw from Canelo, how does he?
Crawford, who was once regarded as the best welterweight in the world, is now prepared to compete against the Mexican superstar by going up to complete weight classes. Even though more analysts believe Crawford has a genuine chance to win, Canelo insists that defeating Crawford would not significantly improve his legacy. Crawford is the only person who can pull it off. You can't refuse him, Jones remarked. If someone stated they were better than me and I could come close to your weight, I was the type of man that said, "Here I come," he went on. When I won the heavyweight title in 2003, I gave John Ruiz 33 pounds. I didn't care because I wanted to achieve something unprecedented and show that I was the best pound for pound.
He fought the proper fight for the proper opponent. When you fight a guy coming up 2 weight classes, you're supposed to bully him. If he'd fought Mayweather that way back in the day, we saw a much better fight. But he didn't. But he's learned now, and that shows you that he's improved and he understands boxing more now because he bullied the smaller guy, which is what you're supposed to do. What you say?
What about Crawford, boy?
Crawford.
And remember to enable notifications so you don't miss any of our high-quality content releases like this one.